Hi guys, it's John here, and this is just a quick update for yield nodes for the month of June. And amazingly, we managed to get a 6.1% of profit this month. So you can see here, my profit has been 1220 euros, which is slightly down from May, but considering how the market has been recently, that's still quite an amazing achievement, I'd say. So the question is, how exactly has this happened? So I've been checking, as I did last month, the Decenemy, or some of the sort of main Decenemy coins here, and they haven't been doing great, to be honest. They've been up and down quite a bit, but I have got some theories behind this. So I did set up some masternodes myself, as you know, or some shared masternodes, and if we compare some of the bits and pieces in here, we can see some of the returns I've received in the month of June have actually been pretty good as they are. So I think, along with the fact that we've done pretty well with our masternodes here, I think the 6.10% is actually a fair enough return. So when you consider the fact that yield nodes, masternodes, many more coins other than just this, obviously, it's safe to say that they've probably had some ups and downs themselves, but they may have even injected a bit of their sort of rainy day fund into this month's returns just to keep people from panicking. Now, the reason I say that is because they have also introduced a new feature, which we're going to talk about very shortly, which will hopefully reduce the number of people panicking in the first place. So like I said, 6.10% for June is pretty good. You can see here that's a 0.2% daily return on my investment here. So I am now just over 6,000 back out of my 20,000 masternoded here. So I am going to withdraw this month's earnings and I will pump that back into another project. Now, like I said before, the other masternodes I've got at the moment, the -D, the Peony, the Esker and the Monk, have done pretty well as well. You can see here I got 10% back from my Monk mode, 5% from my Esker, 3.68 from my Peony, and 8.8 from my -D. Now, I have done a video on shared masternodes, which I'll put in the top right if you want to set up your own. So in theory, you could easily earn a lot more running your own masternodes compared to putting it into yield nodes. But the problem is that you do have to be on the ball and you do have to keep an eye on things to make sure that you're selling before things get out of control. So the Peony coin, for the example, has been doing pretty poorly recently. It has pumped back up a bit here, but yeah, it's down quite a lot over the last few months. If we go into the chart itself, so you can see here the last 90 days it's done pretty badly. But yeah, so it does come with its own risks running your own shared masternodes, but once you've got some set up, as you can see here, my one's running here, it all auto compounds and you just keep on getting more and more back. Now, you should take out any profits you make, really, unless you're aiming to get to a certain amount. I haven't taken any profits out yet, but yeah, I'm just thankful for the fact that yield nodes are still managing to do a decent return. So I was expecting closer to 5%. I actually thought it may be about 5.1%. So that extra 1%, maybe, like I say, that is yield nodes themselves dipping into that rainy day fund and making sure people don't start panicking. Because when people do start panicking, that's when they start withdrawing their money. And that would not be a good idea for yield nodes if everyone started withdrawing their cash. So there is a feature on the site where you can do an emergency withdrawal. So if I click on this here, I can't do it currently because I've already got a withdrawal pending from last month. But basically what this lets you do is withdraw all your masternoded balance and you basically lose 25% of the total amount. So if I was to withdraw, say, 10,000 euros, I would lose 2,500 euros. So it's obviously a big fee and a bit of a sting, really. But to be fair, I think emergency withdrawal, even existing, is quite an amazing thing, really. So what they've actually introduced is a new feature. So you can see it up here, it's called deposit bonus. So if you click on here, you can see here that this is actually a way of actually purchasing someone's emergency withdrawal and actually getting a bonus on top. So it's explained pretty well in the email that was sent out. So I'll just go through that here. So as I said earlier, if someone does leave early, they pay a penalty of 25%. So that's always been the way. It's not anything new they've introduced. But this emergency payout is now going to be put up for sale. So whoever spots one of these payouts is going to get 20% of the original withdrawal as a bonus on top. And that 5% left from the 25% will go back into the yield nodes pool. So here's an example they give. So if someone did withdraw 10,000 euros, under the emergency terms, they would get 7,500 euros back. So anyone purchasing that withdrawal that appears in this list here will basically pay 7,500, but they're actually going to get 9,500 because of this bonus scheme. So the remaining 5% will go back into the pot, and the lucky person will end up with 9,500 euros. So I think that's a really good scheme and a really good system to implement. And whether you will ever see an emergency deposit here is a good question. I imagine people may be sat there just constantly refreshing the page to see if it comes back up with any in the list, but I imagine it's few and far between. I don't imagine too many people do emergency withdrawals, but I don't know because everyone has their own reasons for doing so, I'm sure. But yeah, it's listing some benefits here, so preventing the bleeding of coin values in the event of further market deterioration or panic. So I think, again, like I say, rather than people panicking that coins are dipping, if people are going to be buying up these emergency withdrawals, which could potentially be quite a lot of money. I know they've used 10,000 in the example, but I know people have a lot more in the system than that. And also it's giving bonus funds for dedicated long-term partners. Now, I don't think that means you have to be a member of Yield Nodes for a certain amount of time. I think it's just basically this bit here, which is just bonus funds for partners of Yield Nodes. So they even admit here that this is a bit of a lottery, so it's quite rare to find any of these offers, but they are going to obviously monitor it and see how it goes. Another thing they are thinking about implementing is the ability to deposit via USDC. So that would be quite nice. I know a lot of people don't like depositing in things like Bitcoin, which are quite volatile. So depositing in USDC would be beneficial to all, I would say, because people are probably a lot happier holding USDC in their wallets to transfer to somewhere rather than holding Bitcoin, which could potentially drop in 5% of value in a day. The only other thing to mention is that the audit is coming up. So in a couple of weeks, 18th to 21st of July, there is going to be a group of people auditing Yield Nodes, and I imagine having a few drinks with Urs and the team and just making sure that Yield Nodes is doing what it says it's doing and that they have enough capital to back up the system that is basically powering everything. So it's always interesting to read the Yield Nodes audits from people, so I hope they get some decent people this year to have a sort of snoop around and make sure that everything is above board. So I'm going to withdraw my earnings for the month, which is 12.20. So I will be taking that out and investing that elsewhere. As I said, I'm just getting my ROI on the mastered node of balance back before I put any more into Yield Nodes. So as you can see, I've left 500 in here still. I'm still waiting for the 10,000 mark before I give away that 500 euros. So don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when that competition goes live. It's going to be a completely free one to enter, and I'm going to be giving away my 500 euros here to someone to start up their own Yield Nodes account. Well, I was just actually getting a cup of tea and I've just seen a amount has appeared in here. So let's see what happens if we click on it. Request for deposit bonus. Let's send a request. And it's already gone. So someone has managed to get in there before me, and it's a bit of a shame because I could have actually managed to get that potentially, but not to worry, it's only 500 odd euros. So, but that is what it looks like, obviously, when it does appear. So someone has got quicker fingers than me and obviously isn't worrying about pressing record on OBS before they actually click on it to claim it. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is drink a nice cup of tea, and I'm just going to sit here and basically keep refreshing the page and seeing if I can get another withdrawal bonus. And I imagine I may be here for a while. So yeah, I think it's going to be a long night. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do like and subscribe. If you have any questions at all, then do let me know down below. I have got my affiliate link in the description if you do want to sign up to Yield Nodes. That does really help support the channel. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.